What up, everybody? Benji, Bruce here, and we're going to talk about a very simple question that you should be asking yourself if you want to build a huge brand, a huge personal brand. And that question is, what do you bring to the table? What exactly do you bring to the table? You see, I see a lot of people, they're creating content, whether they're filming with their phone or a nice camera, whatever. They're creating all this content, a podcast, whatever it is. And they're talking about the problem. They're talking about their story or their message or whatever, right? They're talking about their message, their story. And I'm thinking like, okay, what do you bring to the table? It's not about your content because people get bored with content, like insanely bored with content. It's not about the content. It's more about your personality in terms of what you bring. So think about it from the perspective of, in order for you to build your personal brand, you start out by building around a problem. You say, what's the problem that I'm personally solving? What's the problem that my brand is solving? What's the problem that people come to me to solve for them? So if you're talking to, let's say, real estate agents, the problem they're coming to you for is, how do I get more listings or how do I get more buyers? Let's say you're talking to musicians and entertainers. The problem they're coming to you for is, how do I get more gigs and just more business? And if you're talking with a consultant, it's like, how do I get more clients and stuff like that, right? So in the beginning, you're focusing on the problem. That's how you capture their attention. But to keep their attention, you have to focus on the personality. This is you. This is what you bring to the table. It's not about you sitting there saying, having the law of attraction and like, all right, let's just start talking about law of attraction and all that. People get bored by all that. You have to think about the concept of a TV personality. I'm sure you heard of that before. It's a TV personality where you think more along the lines of, are you high energy? Like when you create your content, when you talk about whatever you want to talk about, are you high energy or do you tell stories? So let's say I'm talking with realtors, right? In the beginning, I'm going to focus on their problem. So the problem is I need more listings as a realtor. So let's say I do it from a high energy standpoint. I'm going to be like this. Are you a realtor? I'm going to show you how to freaking dominate the game. I'm going to show you how to own it as a real estate agent, how to make $1 million this month. I mean, if you want to make $1 million this month, getting a ton of listings, I'm going to show you exactly what to do. You do these two things, you will get a ton of freaking listings every single month. So you would like do that like high energy, right? And if you're going to, if you're gonna have the TV personality style of like a storyteller, you would do it very differently. You'd say like, all right, hey, realtors. So the other day I was talking with another realtor and I told this realtor that if you want to build your business, if you want to get more listings as a real estate agent, you need to do these two things. And we were sitting down, we were having coffee and I told him like as we were having coffee, and I don't know, I'm a horrible storyteller, but you get the point, right? The basics is that you got to think, well, what exactly are you bringing to the table? So it's not really about, it's not about your story. It's not about your message. It's not about any of that. In the beginning, you have to focus on them and their problem. So what exactly are they paying attention to? That's how you're going to grab them, because if you don't, you simply won't grab them. I was actually, what was it, 2 days ago, maybe? So I was scrolling through Instagram, right? And then on Instagram, I saw a friend who had an Instagram ad. So it was a sponsored ad. And this friend, he has a multi-million-dollar business. And on the ad, it says something very, very generic about like, hey, if you're an entrepreneur, then you got to make sure that you stay focused or whatever, right? It's just very generic. There was no call to action about, hey, sign up to the email list to receive tips or anything like that. It was just very generic. And I thought to myself, like, maybe I should send this friend a text message and help him improve his ad, because the problem is that he didn't focus on a problem. He didn't focus on a problem that people are looking for. He simply was focusing on himself. He was focusing on building his brand rather than focusing on the problem that his brand solves. And so the only way you can focus on your brand is after people care about you. But in the beginning, nobody cares. Nobody cares about you whatsoever. You have to capture their attention by focusing on them and their problem. Then it's more along the lines of, what do you bring to the table? And what you bring to the table is your personality, and then whatever else you want to bring to the table. If you can juggle, then hey, great. But you got to think, what do you bring to the table? And so that was the problem with my friend, is he focused on what he could bring to the table in the beginning instead of focusing on the problem in the beginning. He should have focused on the problem, and then he keeps that attention by focusing on what he brings to the table, and then you convert that attention by focusing on the sales. So just remember, To capture attention, you focus on the problem that they have. To keep the attention, you focus on what you bring to the table. And to convert a sale, you simply say, hey, mofo, buy my